That's that snack shit. I'm telling you.
Jermall Charlo is breaking the internet, or at least he should be breaking the internet with this kind of information floating around. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to get into some boxing commentary. We're going to wrap all this up. Let's get it.
Jermall, I'm just asking, when you think about Canelo and the PED usage, right? It's probably the fourth or fifth fighter out of that camp that's come up hot for PED usage. What are your thoughts around that?
I've been telling y'all about snack for a long time. Victor Conte them. All right, so like, all right, hear me out. No bullshit for real. They make the drug at the limit of non-responsible, right? So like this right here, this level is you're banned. That's a banned substance. They will make the drug all the way up to the line of the banned substance, but it doesn't show, so it's not responsible. So they've been doing that shit for years, but now that they, tap into it, it's getting caught. Y'all think Canelo hasn't been taking Clint Bruderol for a long ass time? Y'all think he ain't back on that shit? Or y'all think it was just a mistake? Because I go to Mexico all the time, from Houston, from Texas. I'm in Mexico all the time eating steak. I ain't never got popped for no shit like that.
Before I even get started, shouts out to Jermall Charlo. Shouts out to him. Jermall Charlo, this must be his exit. He's probably not planning on boxing too long. And I'm going to tell you why I said that before I get into what he was actually saying. Why it's a big shout out to Jermall is because I don't know if you guys remember. I told you guys about, the Deontay Wilder situation. And I was telling you guys how boxing works and how nothing will come of the Deontay Wilder situation, Tyson Fury, Glovegate thing. Not only because, the fans are just trash, but because it's considered taboo in boxing. You're really not allowed to expose any foul play, any dirty stuff in boxing. If you do, it can mess you up in boxing. They won't want to work with you. Because like I said, if you unearth one thing, you have to unearth the rest. This is the problem with exposing corruption in boxing. This is why you see some boxers, maybe they've been cheated against and you thought they went light on it, or maybe never spoke on it again, or it just disappeared. You know what I'm saying? And it never came up again. This is why. Even if it happened to them, this is why. This is why I was able to predict to you that nothing was going to come from Glovegate. Nothing was going to come from that. If you look at the majority of the corruption and the stuff that's been caught in boxing, it hasn't been from boxing officials. It's been from coaches. It's been from fans. It's been from everybody else but the boxing officials. So shouts out to him, because this is the type of stuff that gets you blackballed low key. Because truthfully, Jermall wasn't supposed to say none of this. I don't think people understand how important and truly polarizing this is, and how much he has went out on a limb. I don't even think he has recognized how far he has swung out there. I don't even think he recognized that. But nonetheless, nobody has done it. Think of all the time you've been watching boxing. Nobody has really, and Jermall is not the most articulate person in the world, but nobody has articulated it like that to that degree. Don't you find that very strange? Out of all the people it's coming from Jermall, out of all the people who could have talked about it. Think about that for a second. That's how truthfully groundbreaking what he just did is. I know nobody really recognizes it yet. Well, number one, you're not supposed to recognize it. But let's go with what he's talking about. Canelo Alvarez. Do you think he's not back on clenbuterol? This is what I'm talking about, open secrets in boxing. We all know he's back on clenbuterol. We've all known that Canelo's been on clenbuterol for quite some time. Canelo's been on clenbuterol ever since it's been evident that he has cardiovascular problems heading into the later rounds. Timothy Bradley spoke on this some moons ago. And he said, y'all didn't notice that problem just disappeared? He said, that's not something that just disappears. You know what I'm saying? Timothy Bradley put it out there, but we knew. Hey, just like we knew about Manny Pacquiao. The whole boxing industry knew Manny Pacquiao was on steroids. Let's be funky and honest. Come on, you knew, I knew, we all knew. Didn't we? That didn't stop us from wanting to see no Mayweather fight or nothing like that. See, you guys are participating, even if you don't know. You know, you guys are participating. We knew, just like we knew Canelo will rob you on the scorecards. And it's hard to beat him because he got judges and favors and stuff like that. We knew. You know what that's called? Acceptance. That's exactly what it's called. It's called acceptance. Now the drug stuff is getting out of control because nobody has ever put a cap on it. You at least got to raise a finger and let people know that you're not with this. At least a little bit. Now it's out of control. That's why I suggested they should just let these guys take steroids because they're not going to stop them. And these guys don't want to speak on it. And they have to participate in this same sport. I'm like, you guys got to fight in this sport. Why is people who don't box more concerned about PEDs than professional fighters? Think about that for a second.
Think about it. They're microdosing it. Look, no excuse. I'm not trying to put nobody out there. This don't got this not just boxing. This a lot of athletes all over the world. They make the drug right there to the line of like this qualification, but they don't surpass it. So they're not getting caught for it. A lot of these fighters on all kind of shit.
If you really pay attention, at the end of the day, the only people that care about people who's taking steroids in professional boxing is actually the fans. That's it. It's not the professional boxers, and it's not the boxing industry. Do not forget that Oscar Valdez failed a drug test and was still allowed to fight. And he was gifted a decision on top of that.
Jermall, you actually, when you were talking about with Thomas, hey, I'll let you go 10 if you want. Does that really happen in boxing amongst fighters?
Yes.
Because you got to spill in the beans on that one.
All right, yes. Yeah. It's a little scripted because when I was coming into like, you know, the big league, getting my name out there, I would fight some opponents and they're like, don't knock him out in the first round. Like, but what if I catch him? I'm gonna knock his ass out in the first round. Me, I never played it with the system. I do what I do. But it's fighters that will make it laugh. Some fighters take dives. You don't think a fighter gonna hold another fighter? It happens.
Even at the top level? At the championship level?
Yes, it happens. Some of this shit be scripted.
Thank you. Jeez. Somebody finally said it. It ain't like we all don't know, but somebody finally said it. That's what I say. What he doing is so rare. When have you heard somebody else say it? Yeah, we know it's scripted. Man, it take all this. And out of all the people that could have said something, it was Jermall. That's how you know y'all suck out there, man. We know it's scripted. Listen, if boxing wasn't scripted, people like Jake Paul couldn't make money in this sport. Let me give you some examples. You see when Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, right? You see Mike Tyson hold back. You see him bite his glove not to knock him out, right? Right? You seen when Floyd Mayweather fought Logan Paul. You seen he knocked him out and basically held him up for the rest of the match. You seen that. You seen Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott. Okay? Everybody seen that die. Y'all seen these things. Come on, stop it. And you just got done seeing somebody take a knee who didn't get charged with a knockdown. How is all that kind of stuff possible if this ain't no choreographed, scripted, theatrics type of sport? I told you, man, this sport is majority theatrics now. Skill and fighting is the last thing on the list, man. It's the last thing on the list. You know Canelo, they gave you some soft or some scripted fight. We know this. This is the problem with fighting Canelo. We know, of course it's scripted. Hey, you know what? And you can include his brother into it. I don't care what he says. Because Jermall didn't come to win. Just like Caleb Plant. I like Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant didn't come to win. You know what I'm saying? These guys get in there with Canelo Alvarez not planning to win. You can tell. So yeah, this sport is scripted. How do you think somebody like Canelo was able to rise to the top in this sport? Why does it seem like people who don't do much seem to be able to rise to the top in this sport? Because this sport is as artificial as they come. And if anybody is real walking around in the sport of boxing, they try to make sure they tarnish and dog them out. You can tell. That's what Terrence Crawford is all about. Because he really is that. So you got to tear him down. Notice all the movers and shakers are talked about. This is how you know boxing is as fake as it get. Right? Devin Haney, youngest undisputed champion. Look at the man's resume. He's willing to fight anybody. He'll go to this person's backyard, that person's backyard. He's polite. He doesn't say much. He takes on challenges. The only thing that you complain is you don't like his style, or he may not be as entertaining as you want. That's it. But besides that, there is literally nothing to dislike about Devin Haney. And he is one of the most hated, if not the top hated boxer in boxing right now. All the people who accomplish shit in boxing are hated. Joshua, hated. Usyk, overlooked or not even recognized. But you get the underachievers and the fake people and the Canelos and stuff like that. That's who y'all talk about. That's how you know this sport is fake. Because anything real gets dogged the fuck out. You get dogged out for wanting to fight the best. Straight up. There is no reason to dislike these guys. There's no reason to hate on Joshua like they did. There's no reason to hate on Haney like they did. It's no reason. These guys are doing what you want them to do, yet you hate them. That's why they hate them, because they're doing what we want them to do. Therefore, they shine a light on all the artificial fighters out there, because it's a lot of them. That's why they don't like people who's actually about that life, because it exposes their stable full of nobodies.